And there we are again for the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. This time it's time for Autodrome Most in the Czech Republic, and it's race number 2 that is about to come. Race number 1 has been quite an exciting one, but one guy has not been as fortunate as anyone else. Talking about Mike Taylor, but look for yourself what happened to him and his truck, and if he will be back for the second race or not. Quite an unexpected talk to Mark Taylor. Expected you to be on podium. You had quite a nice pace in the first race. Could have been first place. A lot of points for you in the championship. And then Clemens Secker told me he saw sparks behind your truck and gone nowhere. What happened?
Yeah, as we were racing, we had a good pace. We had a good start off the line, a good pace, and lap 3, I heard a noise on the truck. So I radioed through to the mechanics. They seen some of the torsion bar dangling on the back. They said, don't worry, just keep going. As we got more into the race, lap 5, it started getting a bit louder. And we were closing in for the end of the race. We didn't have many laps left. And unfortunately, as we were coming down into the complex, the torsion bar, as our brake lifted the back axle up, it dug into the floor, picked the rear axle up and spun me off the track.
Is that something that could flip you in worst case?
Probably. I've never seen it, but yeah, the power on it when you lifted the back end of the truck, you don't realise what's happened.
All right, and then you were like out and about, and I mean we saw parts around your truck when you were out, and now it really looks like a lot of work has to be done. What got damaged?
So yeah, the damage is it's ripped the rear axle out, punctured the fuel tank, gearbox, prop shaft, the shockers. The list is endless at the minute.
I'm like, and he keeps talking and talking and talking. But you will be back tomorrow. I already saw like people are lending their tools and whatever it needs. So the teams are already like with a helping hand. Back tomorrow, I guess?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we'll definitely be on the track. If we could get it ready today, I would be on the track for race 2. But unfortunately, the damage is that bad. It looks like we'll not be back till tomorrow morning.
So good for you. Bradley Smith also didn't get too many points today. He ended up fourth place. So I think the story is still up, no?
Yeah, it's still the same, but it's a bit annoying because beginning of the season we had engine problems and getting DNFs. So over winter we end up having a new engine off Pedrofita because it shot a bolt through the top of the engine. Mm-hmm. So we thought, well, now we've got rid of that problem. The second half of the season we'll have no issues. We should be good. But it looks like it's still following us from first half. No.
Yeah, something is like he has to fight for the first place in this class. So good luck to you. I let you guys work, and I really hope I get to see you tomorrow again. Everyone does, I guess.
Oh, definitely. We'll definitely be out.
Thank you. Starting line of race number 2 of this very lovely and so far also sunny weekend, and Clemens Secker managed to be reverse grid, of course, on first position for this race. And who has been watching all the races beforehand might have heard the story of the Tiger Pants, and finally I'm proudly presenting the Tiger Pants. So many people were like, is it like an orange pant that has like the tiger print on it, or what's it like? And I was like, okay, by the way, this is a very fresh one. It's brand new. I just took it off the package, and I think by next race, he told me, this will be his merchandise as well with his number on it, because it's his lucky pants. So let's talk about this for one more second. But so far, I think Scrutineering wants to know a little more about his truck. Okay, they are done. So we can go over and hand him over his lucky pants. Are you wearing those right now? I know it's a very private question, just so we know if you're lucky for the start that's about to come.
When your lucky pen is here, why don't you wear it?
Because I'm on television right now.
We all wear lucky pens, and who wants one? We have some.
Okay, so they already brought them. It's your starting number on it as well, right? Or something like that. Not yet. Okay, they will be there. I'm taking this one. Maybe I should bring it over to our very fast Portuguese guy. Let's see if he wants to have them. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, very fast guy. Clemens Secker says hi. It's his lucky underwear. It's a present for you that you can win today. It's brand new.
Yeah, it's very good. I think it's a good fight in the front. I try to be clean and take my position, secure the second place or try to be first. But the first corner is the most important. I try to pass and then we fighting.
First corner is very tight. On television always looks like this, and you're very good in defending. So I think you have a good chance to become first today.
I think so. I think yes, because I try to take my place secure. It's possible I try to fighting with the Clemens, or we'll see what's happened.
All right, Steffi is in your bag. Let's see who else. So it might be quite a fight, but I know you can manage. You can give this to your mechanic. It's a present for you. It's yours now. Good luck. I hope they bring you luck. Okay, Chas, I think we're done with the panty talk for now. So over and back to Chas Strakert, our lovely commentator. Let's start to talk about race, the race world, actually. See, this pant really got me confused.
Thank you very much, Lena. Yes, hello everybody. Welcome to the second race of the weekend here from Autodrom Most in Czechia for the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And, well, you don't get banter like that over in Formula One, do you? Drivers handing their lucky underwear to one another on the grid via our wonderful presenter, Lena. That is the truck that's on pole position, though. Truck number 25 of Clemens Hecker. And after taking the class victory earlier in the Chrome class, he will now start from pole position. He finished 8th overall in the first race of the day, so he will now be reversed onto pole position. Looking forward to seeing what he does from there with all of that. You can see my wonderful friend May Fisher down there on the grid with her beautifully bright pink hair glowing away on the front of the grid. But also on the front of the grid is Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, who we just had a quick chat to there. He is a very feisty driver out on the circuit, and being the Titan driver on the front row, we expect him to take the lead early on and try to break away while Clemens Hecker puts up a defence to everybody else involved. There is the wonderful engine aboard the number 25 machine. And the team and everybody all prepared to go. And obviously cheer Clemens on. He's got a fantastic support of people around him as Clemens. It's a wonderful team. They're very good friends of mine. Then again, I say that, you know, without boasting too much, I'm good friends with just about every team in the paddock. Everyone in this championship is so welcoming and so lovely. It's great to be a part of it all. There is the shark fin on the back, the 100% renewable HVO shark fin from the beautiful Total Energies branding. We have these bright green shark fins on all of them. There is some sort of bungee thing going on there on that crane, and I tell you what, the person that is attached to that is much braver than I. But what beautiful scenery here at Most in Czechia. A great, great circuit. And if you look to the bottom left of the screen there, you can see many sites like that around the track, actually. A transport company has brought their trailers and their own trucks here as part of the convoy for the weekend. So many people camp out around the circuit for this weekend with their own trucks and trailers. It's fantastic to see. It's one of the absolute highlight events of the year coming here to Most. There are so many fans out to come and enjoy the truck racing. It's great to see it all. And you can see just how many of them there are, actually, by looking at the grid walk as well. It's always a busy grid here in Czechia. So we're excited to welcome more and more fans to the grid every single time. But we are not welcoming the clouds above us, are we? It was nice and sunny earlier on today. And right now, it's looking a lot more cloudy and threatening rain. It's always windy at Most, so the weather does change quickly. It sort of blows it across in any direction and changes very quickly. What is going to change quickly here as well is I'm going to go quiet for a second. We're going to move over to our international TV broadcast, and we'll be back in a sec.
And there we are in the starting grid of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship of this race weekend at Autodrom Most in the Czech Republic, and it's race number 2 of the Saturday. Race number 1 has been quite an extensive one. A lot has been going on, fighting for positions. Jochen Hahn, who came from 6th position, and so on. Most of you might have seen it already. And 2 guys, they really, to the last second, had, I think, for 4th and 5th position, such a strong fight. And I know he always, because this is Balot Jr., the former car from the champion, Norbert Kisch, he was talking to him beforehand about setup stuff and whatever, and he really is so strong. But Steffi, I always call her the golden elbow, she did a very good job in defending. So now it's the 2 of them again next to each other. René, how's the start gonna be at the very tight first corner going to the right with the 2 of you?
Yeah, it's always a topic here. Huh? The first chicane, it's really tight. First both corners. Yeah, but I hope also that Clemens have a good start, and then we can, hold at least my position and not to lose too much in the beginning. But first corner or first chicane is always a big topic here. Yeah.
You had quite a fight with Steffi. Of course, you want to collect points, so you want to be as much as you can in the front. But in the last laps, are you also already counting for the reverse grid, that you know where your starting position is afterwards? Or is there so much going on at the race that you're not even thinking about it?
Every race count by themselves. You never think of the next race already, or me not, for sure. So you want to have the best position, what is possible in this race. And yeah, Steffi is all time. She's a good defender. If she's in front, then she knows how to defend her position, and it's really hard to overtake her.
So I will walk over and I see what she has to say. Good luck to you. Have a very strong and fightful race. I think it's going to be one for sure. I know, as we already heard from José Eduardo Rodriguez, there are guys and they're like, oh, I'm in 8th position now, so I keep it safe, because on reverse grid I will be the first one. This was his tactic, and there she is, the golden elbow with a new lucky charm in her door. Look at that, so cute. And I will manage, like in Jarama, I will hand you over a very special trophy this year. We'll make sure you get the golden elbow. You had quite a good race. Nice defensive race, the first race.
Yeah, there was not so much to defend. I was very lucky that we all managed the first chicane after the start. Then Jochen came from the back and I knew he was much faster, so I didn't fight hard. But for sure, Rennie was a little bit faster, so I had to start to fight, and it worked. I'm really happy. But now I'm focused for the second race.
Yeah, because you're quite next to each other. First corner, we already talked about that with many people. It's very narrow. But of course, I think you're aiming for podium, aren't you?
Yeah, for sure. We started from 4th position, and the view is more in the front, and I hope we can finish on the podium.
All right, so good luck to you as well. You see, race number 2 always is almost not the more exciting one, but the more intense one, because it's reverse grid. There's Norbert, and there are Jochen and Sasha, and who else coming from the back, and the ones in the front who of course want to stay there. So see for yourself in a second, but before I'm of course handing over to our lovely commentator, Chess Record.
Thank you very much, Lena. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second race broadcast of the day here from Autodrom Most in Czechia for the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And if you didn't join us for the earlier race and listen to our earlier broadcast, yes, I'm not well. Very bunged up at the minute here. Chaz Draco is in the UK, but still, despite talking about myself in the third person, I'm having a fantastic time. And it's great to be back with the championship once again after our long summer break. The last race meeting before this was the Nürburgring, so we've obviously had a long time to stew and wait for things to come back around. And everybody is having a good time here at Most this weekend. As you see then, it is a circuit with 21 corners. Most Grand Prix circuits don't even have 20, but this one of the longest circuits on the calendar, with many tight and twisty sections as well. When you go down to the bottom left there on that track map in towards the hairpin at turn 10, turns 6, 7, 8 and 9, all so feisty and so difficult. So everyone's really trying to make sure they've got it all established before they head down there. But then the later section of the lap as well, turns 15, 16, 17. There's a lot of momentum needed to be carried there as well. And obviously, heavy braking zone into turns 20 and 21. So it's a big challenge, this place, a big challenge, and we're all excited to see how the trucks get going for this second and final race of the day. Obviously, 2 more to go after this, so we'll see soon just how it all plays out. But there might be rain on the horizon here, so we'll have to wait and see whether that comes about, because it's very windy here at Most, as it usually is, and that affects the weather quite a bit. It certainly changes very quickly. There is John Newell on your screen with Luke Garrett and Bradley Smith. Also in the background there, Martin Maciek, who makes his debut here this weekend. That, I believe, is René Reinert. And I know that because he had left front to right rear contact with Jose Eduardo Rodriguez in the first race. René very focused, ready to get going. He's taken a race win already this season back at the Lausitz Ring in the 6th race of the season. He was the first non-Norbert Kisch race winner this season. And since then, we've had race victories for Antonio Albacete and, of course, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. But nobody else in the top 5 in the championship has won a race this season. Jochen Hahn hasn't won one. Steffi Halm hasn't won one. Sascha Lenz hasn't either. Sascha Lenz equalled his best result of the season in that earlier race with a 3rd place finish. Out on track now is the Ford F-Max heading out on its inspection lap. Ford Trucks, one of our major partners here in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And this wonderful machine was developed with over 15,500 hours of lab testing and 5 million kilometres of road testing. All the tests were carried out over 11 countries on 4 different continents, with over 200 prototype units. Just earlier on in the season as well, we saw a rather exciting version of this F-Max, the 500 Custom, which only has 1 seat, the driver's seat. It includes a small compact kitchen area behind the driver's seat with a microwave, slide-out sink, and obviously the usual bed. It was designed with the solo driver in mind, utilising large cabin space, often occupied by a widely unused passenger seat. Let's head to Lena, shall we? Because it's raining, I believe.
It is raining very softly for now, but I meant to show you something else beforehand, because everyone who's like connected to the drivers, it's Team John Newell, and he was like, don't talk to me, I will faint, and he has a job to do. So we just show him. He's already very focused. Look in his eyes. All he has to do is to watch the lights to turn green, and once they do, you always see like the car chief or the team manager, whoever is like doing this, they have the hand in front of the mouth, so they are heard very well and no one else can see when they say go. So it's go, and there they are already. They're all standing over there and we can watch them. I will just give you the picture once they give the starting thing. I will have a quick, do you think this is gonna be a race through with this beautiful weather there, or what's going on the next 20 to 30 minutes?
I don't know, I'm English, I'm normally good at predicting the weather, but here in Most it's impossible to predict it, so I hope it will be a wet weather start, so we will do 1 extra lap on waved yellows, and then it's up to race control if they release us for the full race, but if not, it'll be delayed for the weather to clear, but I hope it will go ahead.
It's Antonio. He's working with Antonio Albacete, so is he a good wet driver?
Oh, he loves it. He has lots of experience, so yeah, we can hopefully push on a little bit as soon as we get the green flag and hopefully overtake a few of the other trucks, and we keep pushing.
And once it stays like this, it's not really dangerous. It just like gives a little wet surface. I think we should be fine if it's like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's more the aquaplaning. So because the trucks are so big and heavy, there's a lot of rubber on the road, so it takes not a lot of water for it to start to aquaplane. But luckily Goodyear have developed these tyres to be capable in wet and dry. So from this side, we are not scared of starting a race. So from this side, a big thank you to Goodyear.
All right, thank you to Goodyear, and let's get this race started with. I think it's 20 more seconds or something until they start rolling. So Chas, back to you, and remember the goal. Start delayed, I just heard. Okay, there we go. Talking about the rain, start is delayed, as we just were talking about. Lucas, so you can come to me. Oh, he has to go back, because Martin Maciek is in his truck this time. but he's very busy right now. He is, of course, taking care of him. If you have not been watching the first race, it's Mr. winning the Rally Dakar in a truck himself. He won this year, he won last year. And let me tell you, I have been there. It's 8,000 kilometers. It's 3 weeks of really tough work. It's dunes, it's mud, it's stones, and it's 3 people working in the truck together. And to win the Rally Dakar, this is like winning the King's class. It's a lot you have to go through to be number 1. And he got convinced by the owner of this racetrack to lend Lucas Hahn truck and just to try for himself. So far he's done a good job. He already improved a lot at the first race. Now it's gonna be his first wet race, so it's also like in rally racing, you never know what's waiting like behind the next corner. So let's see how this story goes. And Chaz, I'm still handing over back to you because everyone is walking away. See, Lucas and I easily could have had a chat, but whatever. And let's hope that this stays as is or just vanishes, because we really want to see a race now, don't we?
Yeah, we absolutely do. And as you can see, the fans want to see a race as well. The rain may have arrived, but they are not budging. They have their coats ready, they have their umbrellas, and as Tim Frost rightly said, you know, it's impossible to predict the weather here in Most. It is absolutely ridiculous how quickly it changes. But again, it's like I've mentioned a couple of times already, you know, it's so windy here at Most all of the time that it just blows the weather through. Apparently a 10-minute delay for this rain to pass through. So Tim mentioned the tyres themselves from Goodyear. Obviously, a wonderful corporate message there from Tim. Thank you very much for doing my job for me. But Goodyear have developed this great tyre that is not just used in the dry conditions, but it's good in the wet as well. So it gives the drivers and teams the capability and the options to basically go regardless what the conditions are. They can head out on track and race to their heart's content. Obviously, there is a safety aspect they consider when the rain is too heavy. And as with all forms of motorsport, there is a limit when you obviously have too much water on the circuit and it becomes, to a point, dangerous. But as you see, certain coats don't come with hoods, so not fully prepared there, the fire marshal, I believe. But yeah, it's certainly, well, I mean, you can see on the left, actually, it looks like very heavy rain over that way. So hopefully it isn't too much that it absolutely drenches the circuit, and it's more just makes it a little bit greasy. Some drivers will argue that when it is only a slight bit wet and it's greasy, going from a sort of dry to wet condition as opposed to being absolutely sodden, it's probably more tricky because it's harder to judge. There's less standing water on the track. There's less to see. And in the fastest 7 minutes you've ever experienced, we now have 3 minutes left before the start of the race, apparently. Seems like they called the 10-minute board just to give a potential window of time, and now we're going. Wow, time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it, everybody? That will be down to... oh. Now, I've had some news through. I'm unsure whether I'm allowed to share this yet, so I will check. We'll see. We've had some news through about the potential reason for the delay. And yeah, I mean, not to bring him any shame from this, but apparently Clemens Hecker was just simply not ready. They were not in position to be prepared. They got the 3-minute board, and then all of a sudden they had to go again. So yeah, we had to wait a second there for Clemens Hecker, but he's the one on pole position, so he determines the pace, and I think he took that quite literally. Still, we're led around now, not by Clemens Hecker, but our official pace truck, which is the Iveco S-E-Way. Iveco, of course, one of the main players in the global transport sector, establishing a global presence on the world stage as a manufacturer and commercial provider in the most important industrialized countries and emerging markets alike. And it may be an electric truck, but it still does just as well in the rain, as you see. Interesting conditions then, with Clemens Hecker on pole position, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez alongside him on the front row here for race number 2 of the day, and of course race number 18 of the season. We have René Reiner and Steffi Halm ready to reignite their battle in the second race of the day here. Jochen Hahn and Sascha Lenz also doing the same on that third row of the grid. Good news there, you can see Stefan Faas. We'll come to him in just a moment. Antonio Albacete is next up after finishing second earlier on. He is side by side with Norbert Kish on the fourth row of the grid. Louis Rikwenko then lines up alongside John Newell, the two of them finishing second and third in the Chrome class in the earlier race. Then we have Luke Garrett and Bradley Smith, two British drivers, side by side on the 6th row. But look at the spray down there. It's certainly interesting at that part of the circuit, isn't it? Martin Magic and Christian Ruppert, both of them racing in trucks for the first time this weekend here at Most. Mark Taylor would be on the back row of the grid, but he's not starting this one. But Stefan Faas has been allowed to join from the pit lane, which is great to see. Hopefully, Stefan and the team able to overcome the potential issues with the truck and continue on with full pace, full steam ahead for them for the remainder of the weekend. I'm just checking to see now if we continue on with the wet start procedure, where it'll be a full lap of the race under yellow flags, and then we go green for lap 2. So effectively the race loses a lap, but they go round a lap just to make sure that everything's all safe and good to go. We've raced in worse conditions than this before, though, so I think we'll be okay. Now, apparently there's been a report to the stewards based on Clemens Hecker and his activity on the grid, or team activity on the grid, after the 1 minute board. The race is still going to be 11 laps. There's no shortage or shortening of the race, I should say. And our Iveco S E-Way makes its way into the pit lane then. Clemens Hecker leads them around the final corner. And Jose Eduardo Rodriguez gets himself in position to line up alongside him on the front row. They're a little bit spread out at this point, so I think we'll be going to a wet start procedure as Clemens Hecker leads us across the line. And yes, it's a full lap under yellow. You can see the yellow LED board there shining away. So no overtaking on this first lap. It's still a beautiful sight, isn't it? Clemens Hecker leads, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez next, René Reiner in third, Steffi Halm fourth, then it is Jochen Hahn, Sascha Lenz, Antonio Albacete, Norbert Kish, Louis Rikwenko, John Newell, Luke Garrett, Bradley Smith, Martin Magic, Christian Ruppert and Stefan Faas. Now they can run at as high a pace as they want, but just no overtaking. Back to Lena for a second.
And Davide Califanos next to me watching the race on his phone, and we were just like, what do you think? Are they going to start a real race? So far the rain got even worse. What do you think? What's your prediction?
I don't know. I think in the end it's a decision of the race director. Conditions are tricky. We know that on the circuit sometimes the water is staying on the circuit. This could cause some problems with aquaplaning. We saw yesterday during qualification that we had red flags. So I don't know, we'll see, but condition looks very challenging from here. Difficult from us to say from here, but the drivers on the circuit will know and we see. And
there's sun and rain at the same time, but also the Goodyear tire is made for sun and rain. So what is the limit where it's like it can take the rain, and at a, like how much rain is it until it gets to danger?
No, I think that the problem is that if the surface is wet, that's not a problem. We have improved compound that can deliver traction even in this condition. The issue is more about aquaplaning, and then when really you have a couple of centimeters of water on the circuit, that can be a challenge. Of course, we are using the same tires on dry and wet, and these tires is by definition a compromise between dry and wet conditions. So that's why it's a bit tricky and it's difficult, because sometimes when it is wet, the driver can they feel the traction, and then when they get aquaplaning, it comes all of a sudden. So it's very tricky for the driver, and they're very, very good at handling this situation.
Yes, thank you so much for explaining a little more. Let's get out of here for a second and a half. As you can tell, this is not only drops of rain falling down, it's actually rain. So I think we might see some more laps over there. Oh, it's green actually, so let's see how the story goes. Okay, there goes the race.
Thank you, Lena. And straight away down the inside goes Jose Eduardo Rodriguez on Clemens Hecker to take the race lead, as we expected him to try to. He got a great run down the start, finish straight, and a lovely move into turn one. Sasha Lenz is trying to move in the background on Jochen Hahn. Thank you once again to Davide Califano from Goodyear for having a chat with us and having a chat with Lena. Even with the rain, he's still got his sunglasses on his head. He's a fantastic human being, is Davide. Hard worker as well. Always has a good smile on his face. And it's a pleasure to have him around. Right then, Clemens Hecker, Chrome driver, leading the class, but he's got 6 Titan drivers behind him, starting with René Reinert, then Steffi Halm, then Jochen Hahn, who's getting a bump and a push from Sasha Lenz. Sasha looking good here in the wet conditions straight off the bat. Norbert Kish next up is already ahead of Antonio Albacete. Norby is also very good in the wet, and he wants to get past Sasha now and gain an extra place. But look at this for Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. This is working out brilliantly. Don't forget, he won just 2 races ago at the Nürburgring. He won the 4th race of the weekend, so he'll be wanting to do that again here this afternoon. Steffi Halm holding on in front of Jochen. Sasha Lenz is off, I believe. Sasha off the road. There was side-by-side moment there with Norbert Kirsch, and he runs wide on the exit. I don't know if there was contact. I don't think there was, but we'll have to have a look back if that's the case. Sasha Lenz now losing more time and losing another position to Antonio Albacete. Antonio following his ex-teammate through. Clemens Hecker, whoa, buckets of understeer there through the right hander. The truck was really not ready for that. And the number 25 machine is trying to hold on where he can. He doesn't really need to worry about the overall positions. It's more about the class positions that he needs to focus on. If he wins in the Chrome class, that's going to mean more in terms of points for him than winning overall. But look at them queuing up behind here. Oh, contact between Jochen Hahn and Norbert Kish. Jochen, I think, has a bit of a wobble on the exit of the penultimate corner, and somehow, how has he done that? Norbert Kish still ends up on the outside and once again ends up off the circuit. He somehow carried on with that momentum and nearly got the place back again after being off the road. That was incredible traction, an incredible amount of grip from Norby's machine. That was insane. Absolutely insane. We've got now Antonio Albacete down the inside of Jochen Hahn. Right together as they head into turn 2. Norby just grazing the rear bumper bar of Jochen's truck. There's more argy-bargy on the exit. Side by side they go. Norby goes through on the left-hand side. Jochen was sideways and ends up pushed out wide. Norbert goes through, chasing now his ex-teammate. Antonio has benefited from this brilliantly. Moves up into 5th position. Clemens Hecker is now out of the way of Steffi Halm and René Reinert. Those two have made their way through at the start of this lap. But it's feisty stuff between all the Titan drivers behind, isn't it? A bit of a push there from Steffi Halm onto the back of René Reinert. Norbert Kish trying the outside line. Look at that. He knows exactly what he's doing there, doesn't he? All the way around the outside of Antonio Albacete. Bright yellow panel. That could be from Luke Garrett's truck or Bradley Smith's. And Norby hasn't got it done there. You've actually had Antonio Albacete stay in front. Norby trying to push through the pack as quickly as he can. Through there, spelt with an F by Chaz. Very well done. No further action on any of the contacts that we saw just a moment ago, it seems. Quick resolution on that one from race control before the actual graphic has come up. Now, Clemens Hecker may be losing positions here, but in terms of his class position, he's not lost anything. He still leads the way, but just 3 trucks back is Louis Requenco. Don't know if there was a bit of contact there between him and Norby. I don't think so. It looked like they were both a little bit out of shape. But Norbert Kish already up into 4th place. Clemens Hecker seemingly not at the same pace as these guys here now, even on the straights. I don't know if his setup was a little bit more focused on a dry race, or he's just letting the Titan drivers go and get on with their race without trying to overdo it. But he's sideways there now, and Louis Requenco fighting with John Newell just behind. That could help him out if those two scrap together, because that'll mean he's got an easier lead. As they have scrapped together, and Louis Requenco is off the road and back on. That puts Luke Garrett into a podium position in the Chrome class. Bradley Smith gains a place as well. Any points that he can get here will be good for him, because that'll mean that they're points that Mark Taylor is not scoring while he is on the sidelines after that earlier failure. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez is now 7 seconds clear of all of this rabble. Antonio Albacete getting a good run out of the first chicane. Antonio and that MAN are really on song this weekend, aren't they? Has to back off a little bit, get in behind Rene Reinert. Now Norbert Kish comes through on the right-hand side. Side by side they go towards 6, 7, 8 and 9. Is it going to work through there? Ooh, Antonio's in the inside, but now he's going to be on the outside for the next two right-handers. Norbert, importantly, is going to be on the inside for the hairpin, although, no, backs out of that one, says no after you, sir. Don't think he wants to risk it too much. He knows that Jochen is waiting. He's knocking on the door. Ooh, I think there was a little bit of a tap there. Antonio goes a little bit deep. Looks like Norby just doesn't have the same traction that he usually does off the corner there. I tell you who does have the traction, and that's Sasha Lenz. Look at Antonio Albacete go as well, side by side with Rene Reinert, cab to cab as they head down towards turn 14. Well, it's actually turn 13, this one. Down at the bottom of the hill. It's nowhere near the same speed as it is in the dry when it's in the wet. Sasha Lenz has got a lot of bodywork hanging off the front of his truck. Suddenly, Norbert Kish is ahead of Antonio Albacete. So too is Sasha. They've all lost a bunch of momentum heading down towards turn 15. 5 Titan drivers right together. Norby's had a little bit of a run into there. I can't even get the words out. He's had a bit of a deep run into turn 15, I should say, through 16. Sasha Lenz now running the low downforce front end on his truck. Antonio side by side with Jochen Hahn. All of a sudden, Antonio's gone from the front of this train, trying to overtake Rene Reinert, to the back of it. And Rene still holds on. Third position outright. He's got Steffi Halm a few seconds up the road. And then, even after that, up the road from that is Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. He is flying in the wet right now. He was 2.6 seconds quicker on that previous lap than Steffi Halm. Incredible pace by Jose Eduardo. Still leading the Chrome class, though. Ooh, for now is Clemens Hecker. I just saw him have a big moment in the background, and look at that around the outside by Norbert Kish. Thank you very much, he says. Sasha Lenz gets on the wet stuff on the left-hand side. Manages to slide the rear end out using all of that 100% renewable HVO diesel to power it sideways. But look at this guy. It's not even like he's powered by 100% renewable HVO diesel at the moment. It's like he's powered by rocket fuel. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez disappearing. Louis Requenco and John Newell's contact is apparently under investigation. That might be as well, as Rene Reinert and Sasha Lenz come to blows. That now means that Jochen Hahn and Antonio Albacete go through. It seems like anybody that gets near the front and gets near Rene Reinert just gets shuffled to the back of this group. Norbert Kish is the only one that's managed to successfully get past Rene and carry on in the race without losing another position. As it all slows down a lot. Rene Reinert gets a hit from the back of Jochen Hahn. Well, from the front of Jochen Hahn. Maybe Rene letting his teammate through and nobody else. He's really forming a solid wall of defence here. John Newell now leads the Chrome class. Clemens Hecker's having a nightmare race, starting on pole position. He's now 18.5 seconds off the lead, down in 9th position overall. He's still on for second in the Chrome class, so another podium and some more important points. But, even more importantly, the truck that's ahead of him is John Newell at present, and John is the one ahead of him in the championship, so he needs to be finishing ahead of the number 18, really. I was going to say I just wanted to breathe for a second then, but I can't even do that. I'm not well. Sasha Lenz trying to catch up to Antonio Albacete again. Rene Reinert's off the road. Rene straight on into the gravel. Manages to keep it going. Manages to keep the momentum up. He's on the grass on the outside of the gravel now. And hopefully can rejoin safely. Don't know if there was contact leading up to that. Oh, I said rejoin safely, Rene. He's in the middle of the road there. Clemens Hecker won't be happy about that one. I can't tell you what he'll be shouting, but he'll be shouting something. And now look, Bradley Smith all over the back of his countryman Luke Garrett. And suddenly Louis Requenco is back in the picture as well. But John Newell leads in the Chrome class. And this could be him on his way to his first class win of the season. We've had 3 from Clemens Hecker, 4 from Mark Taylor. Just 2 from Bradley Smith. 4 of them from Lucas Hahn. 1 from Jonathan Andre earlier on in the season. Stefan Fass has also had a class win so far this season. But the Chrome class mighty hotly contested this season once again. It's been absolutely joyous to watch them. But look at Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. 9/10 of a second faster than Steffi Halm on that last lap. And on a mission, Norbert Kish now up into 3rd place, ahead of Jochen Hahn, ahead of Antonio Albacete, ahead of Sasha Lenz. But he's behind Steffi Halm. He's going to be hoping to at least get an overtake done. And right now, you can see Clemens Hecker having to defend hard from Luke Garrett getting a bump in the rear. Something not right on that 25, I have to tell you. It's all over the place at the moment. He's not able to get the power down, and he's not able to get the initial turn in that he wants either. Look at the understeer. I know you could tell me it's raining, but just doesn't seem to be behaving itself, does it? Does the 25. And right now, he needs it to be a much easier ride. Trying to defend from these guys all behind. But Norbert Kish now ahead of Steffi Halm. I was just taking a second to look at the timing there. And as you see, oh no, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez off the road. Current race leader off the track and recovers back on quite quickly. But he loses a bunch of time as a result. Let's see what the lap time was, a 2:23.0. 7 seconds lost. Norbert Kish now up into second place. Can he hold on? Sorry, I had a little connection issue for just a moment there. Lost pictures for just a moment at my end. But right now, we've got Jochen Hahn all over the back of Steffi Halm for third position. Steffi wanting to take a podium. She's not been on an overall podium since the Slovakia ring. She was second in race 2 of the weekend there. Jochen looking like he's on form here. Sends it down the inside. Gets it stopped on the apex. Nice stuff. But Steffi's got good pace on the exit. Potential to get the momentum. There's Norbert Kish, speaking of momentum. And right now, Steffi is going to be watching her mirrors again. Sasha Lenz, last time out, set a 2:17.7, did his fastest lap of the race. The rain has now stopped and the track is potentially drying a little bit. Oh no, René Reinert off again in the background there. René went straight on. And he's back to his favourite spot. He's reshaping the circuit. Right now, though, the battle is on for what will be fourth position for Steffi Halm. Sasha Lenz there, look, running around the outside line, trying to use that moisture. Run the wider line to carry the momentum. The Iveco versus the MAN down the start-finish straight. Right together. Sasha not going for it down the inside, though, into the first corner. I did expect a little move for a moment there, but nothing doing this time round. There is an incident under investigation, as you see. Louis Rikwenko and Clemens Hecker under investigation now. So they must have had a bit of contact further back as, well, Clemens Hecker has now dropped to 11th position behind Bradley Smith. Not the race he would have wanted from pole position. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez is having the race he would have wanted. He's done a 2:19.3 last time round. Norbert Kish did a 2:17.7 though. So he is, what, 1.7 seconds quicker. As Sasha Lenz goes round the outside of Steffi Halm, down the inside on the brakes. Steffi tries to carry the speed around the outside line. Sasha gives plenty of room, has a big slide on the exit. Steffi just touches the curb and it sends the truck slightly sideways. They're still completely nose to nose as they go down towards turn 15. Sasha with that inside line may get ahead, but now Steffi's on the inside line for the much longer turn 16. But then Sasha's going to be on the inside for turn 17, and he's got the momentum around the outside. Nicely done, but watch out for Steffi on the cutback. Doesn't quite work there. It's hard to get a cutback and then make it work through there because turn 18 is a left-hander. Look behind them both as well. Antonio Albacete was shuffled out of the way earlier on, and he's suddenly now back in the picture as, oh, dearie me, Stefan Faas, another race going to pot. Now, where on earth is that? That's the next question. Not a clue where he is. There is further problems for the 77 of René Reinert as well. It's a very attritional race, this one. Certainly shaking things up. Antonio Albacete still chasing down Steffi Halm. Steffi has very quickly gone from 2nd to 5th. A number of the other drivers making their way through. Steffi just not able to defend in the way that she would have wanted. The gap for the lead, by the way, is 2.6 seconds. Norbert Kish was 3 seconds, 3 entire seconds faster. Almost exactly 3 seconds faster on that last lap. Rodriguez did a 2:17.839. Norby did a 2:15.838. So 1,000th of a second, over a second fast. Words, Chaz. And also, it's not 3 seconds, it's 2 seconds. I clearly can't do maths. 2:15.838. 2 seconds quicker than 2:17.839. Thanks very much to our graphics guy for reminding me that we run on 100% renewable HVO diesel, tying me away from the fact I can't do maths. Thank you very, very much, Monsieur Patrick, for helping me out there. Stopping me from digging myself into a large number-filled hole. But right now, the race is on for 5th place between Steffi Halm and Antonio Albacete. Antonio was 2 seconds quicker on that previous lap. And it's definitely 2 seconds. I've done the maths. Sasha Lenz was 0.8 of a second quicker and is starting to get away down the road. John Newell continues to lead the Chrome class in 7th place overall. He's going to be a very happy boy with how this is going. Luke Garrett also on his way towards a podium in class, and so too is Bradley Smith. John Newell would be the only repeat podium visitor in class if he carries on this way. Apparently, Stefan Faas has stopped in a safe space, so there's no flags or anything. They're still green. No yellow flags, no red flags. He's well out of the way. But I just, for the life of me, couldn't figure out where. Not sure where we've got a camera that looks that downward on the trucks. There's the battle for the race lead then. We go on to the penultimate lap of the race here at Autodrome Most in Czechia. This is the 18th race of the season. And Norbert Kish is closing in on Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. The Portuguese driver would be another few seconds up the road if he hadn't have had that little mistake earlier that sent him off at the penultimate corner. It looked like a dead set win for him at the halfway point as well. And he's now carrying on as quickly as he can, with the 6-time champion and reigning champion Norbert Kish right behind. Norby has just been, once again, fantastic in coming through the other. That's where Stefan Faas is. He is off the road on the way into turn 10. Look at Norby round the outside, V'ing off the corner, as we call it. Going sort of sharp on the way in, tightening up the actual turn in, and then using the momentum to get a run on the exit. You can do a lot of that and train for that with sim racing, as Norby does. Norby spends a lot of time in the sim. He is an avid sim racer, an avid iRacer. And in fact, we saw at the Slovakia Ring weekend that he was between the race days, heading back to, I think it was a university campus, and doing the iRacing 24 hours of the Nürburgring with his team. But right now, he's all over the back of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. Importantly for Norby's championship, he is ahead of everybody else. So he doesn't need to worry about Jochen really in terms of his position at this stage of the race. Jose Eduardo on the inside line, trying to hold it tight to the inside now as Norby has forced the issue. Jose Eduardo says nope, slides sideways in front of him. And with just one lap to go, Jochen Hahn is suddenly getting into the picture. Here we go then, on to the final lap of race number 2 here at Autodrom Most in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Norbert Kish trying to get past Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. Is he going to go for the outside then the inside, or inside then outside? It's the latter. And Jose Eduardo does turn in. There's a bit of contact. Norby ends up sideways. Jochen Hahn suddenly able to attack him. And is that going to mean that Jose Eduardo is going to win this race? Norby was a little bit late with his nose down the inside, but, well, the nose was alongside late, but he made his intentions clear very early. Right-hand mirror flapping around on Norby's truck as well. Jochen wants a piece of this now. We know he's a good wind-up merchant, and he's going to try and be a good wind-up merchant right behind the big red MAN. You can see the dry line forming on the track now as well. Well, it's more than formed, isn't it? It's very apparent. Christian Ruppert just staying out of the way of the guys there. Good awareness from him. Is it awareness or is it an issue? No, he's yeah, fair play to him. He stayed out of the way of the top 5 coming through. He doesn't want to affect the lead battle. I know that Norbert Kish may not be too happy with Jose Eduardo Rodriguez for that one, but he went for it. Now as they head down towards turn 15 once more, Norby will be hoping to just push forward and try and catch up in this final sector. This is the sort of sector where Baloo Jr. is very, very good. That truck is set up so well underneath from a geometry perspective to handle these corners and handle this sort of momentum. But I don't think it's going to be enough. John Newell has gotten ahead of Rene Reinert, by the way. Actually, no, sorry. I think Reinert got back ahead of Luke Garrett. I do apologise. 2 more corners to go. Ooh, it looks clumsy there, doesn't it, from Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. But as he rounds the final corner, he's going to take his 2nd win in 3 races and his 2nd win as a Titan driver in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. It's Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, Norbert Kish and Jochen Hahn. Very well done to our drivers, as here is the battle. Rene Reinert and John Newell have actually swapped places. Reinert going through, John Newell and Luke Garrett fighting for the win in chrome. Luke tries to pull out to the right to get a run on John. It's not quite going to work. He had the momentum, but not the track space. John Newell wins in the chrome class from Luke Garrett just at the end. 3rd place goes to Bradley Smith. He'll be buzzing with that one because, well, it finally means that he's got some bigger points on the board for this weekend over Mark Taylor. But Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, once again, taking a race victory this season. Very well done to him. Norbert Kish in 2nd place. 3rd place going to Jochen Hahn. And over in the chrome class, it was John Newell. Brilliant stuff. Great racing. And a busy, busy race indeed, that one. That's Jose Eduardo Rodriguez's 3rd podium appearance of the year. 2 of them being race victories. He'll be very pleased to receive the trophy for that one. The sun shines down on his race win. He now makes his way back into the pit lane. He'll be greeted by a very happy team, I'm sure. And there is John Newell taking his 1st chrome win of the season. And very importantly, that now puts him 2nd in the championship, ahead of Mark Taylor. That is a very important win for John. Luke Garrett in 2nd place. That's his 2nd podium of the season for him. And Bradley Smith, 9 podiums now. Puts him just 5 points clear of John Newell. John is nearly leading the Chrome Championship after that, I believe. Actually, sorry, no. Bradley... no, I do apologise. I've given the points to the wrong truck. What a genius. That does now mean that Bradley Smith, though, has a 13-point lead at the top. top 4 separated by just 26 points. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez wins just over half a second to Norbert Kish, with Jochen Hahn in 3rd, Sascha Lenz in 4th, and Steffi Halm in 5th. Then it's Antonio Albacetti ahead of René Reinert, with John Newell winning in the Chrome class ahead of Luke Garrett and Bradley Smith, an all-British podium in the Chrome class this time round. Louis Requenco 11th ahead of Clemens Hecker, not the race he would have wanted. He finishes just ahead of Martin Macic, and Christian Ruppert finishes in 14th place. Stefan Faas, another DNF, and obviously a non-start from Mark Taylor. And this, as pointed out by my producer, now we know why EB is the one that does all these statistics and not me. My maths has let me down during this race. There are some investigations still going on, which we will leave to the stewards after the race, and obviously any updates we will keep you informed on overnight on the decisions or on social medias. And there you go, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. And he is going to get a very warm welcome, I'm sure. There you go, you can hear them as happy as they can be. Not just a race victory, but a race victory in the Titan class as well for Jose Eduardo, adding more and more to the narrative of his progression and his consistent rise as a truck racing driver. He is Chrome champion and now a double race winner overall in the top class of European truck racing. Gets better and better every week, doesn't it, for Jose Eduardo? He was off to a bit of a shaky start at the start of the season, didn't see the podium until Slovakia ring 3 race meetings in. But since then, he's had a win in each of the race meetings. Norbert Kish swings the door open on Baloo Jr. Jose Eduardo coming through to probably say sorry for the contact in the later stages. They discuss it. A big hug and a congratulations from Norby. And, a slightly different discussion there with Jochen and Norby. He said he's a big man or something there, and a handshake as well. And wow, he certainly not happy is Jochen. Very passionate about it all is Jochen at the end of the day. And who can blame him? Still a smile on the face from Norbert Kish, but let's go to Lena, shall we?
Big hugs for Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, of course. And let's quickly speak to Jochen first, because he is just like enjoying his win, which is so well deserved. But I can tell Jochen, he was fighting through, as you can tell by the looks of his truck. And let's see what the story was all about. But that was quite an intense race. So much defending, so much fighting. And yeah, of course, they're still discussing. We just let them do the talk within the team for a second. It's all good. Yeah, and caps. And now he's ready to talk. Okay, first of all, congratulations. Still, amazing job. And if you would have had more laps, I think it also could have been second place. But just give me your own resume of this race.
We have many contacts. Some of the contacts are my foul. I go directly to Norbert and say sorry for I let him out, and this is not fair racing. So that's why I say sorry to him. Second time, it's a race collision from this side. No, I think it's wet. It's a little bit dangerous, but we handle it carefully. I think nobody is outside. We have no yellow flags, so from this side we can be very proud. Nobody have the big crash. I'm happy with the podium, and yes, we need more laps. But you know, on the podium, I'm happy for today.
All right, thank you so much. So let's start walking to the podium, because there's not even so much time. Let's see where the exit is. And one big shoulder clap for Jose Eduardo. I should have given you the tiger pants before. Really good driving. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. A very difficult race with wet and dry in the same time. I tried to gain some space, but in the final with my go out the track, I fall a lot of time, but in the final, victory is very good.
Yeah, I was like 11 laps was just fine for you, because we were like, but you should be a drifter as well maybe, because you really did good in drifting.
I try to put the truck in the track. It's very difficult conditions, but in the final the victory is very good and is emotional for tomorrow.
And well deserved. Let's start walking to the podium, because they're already waiting over there for the trophies. And as we walk, I will have more people. Actually, John, I was planning on doing the interview with you after you have the trophy in your hand, but because everyone is waiting to walk over, you had quite a good weekend. I think you were catapulted to the first position now in the total class, no?
Yeah, in my class, yeah. So it was a good race. Everybody was sliding all over. We just kept it on track and just nice and steady, and it were all right. Enjoyed it, really enjoyed it.
I can see by the smile in your face. How do you feel when it's rain like this? Are you just taking it smoothly, or are you just pulling the bag a little more than normal?
No, just taking it smoothly. The slower and the smoother you go, the quicker you are in the wet. So that's what we did. So we're good.
Let's start walking. The trophies are waiting. Boys, the trophies are waiting. Come on, let's do the interview over here as we walk. Bradley, you had quite an intense start into this race. I know everyone was having their expectations of how to do the race and how many points to collect and so on. But Bradley finally back on the podium. Must be a nice feeling, no?
Yeah, no, it's good. We've been struggling a lot this weekend, and I think the rain helped us a bit there. So we're struggling for grip, so yeah, managed to just keep it on track. It was very slippery, but it was good fun. Really enjoyed it. So yeah, podium, happy for the teams. They worked so hard. We had the diff going qualifying yesterday, so it's up till 1-2 o'clock this morning repairing that. So it's good to get the truck on the podium today.
Nice. Do you give some feedback? Like, did you change something in between first and second race also on your truck, or do you just leave it as is for this weekend?
Yeah, no, we changed loads of things. So I really struggled in race one, so we changed it with spring angles and everything and took a gamble in that one. But yeah, it seems to be a lot better that race, so hopefully we can crack on tomorrow.
Well, obviously you moved into the right direction, so yeah, let's see how the story goes tomorrow, and we have some highlights for you from this really stunning second race of the day.
Thank you, Lena. Fantastic to hear from our drivers after that one. And yeah, it was certainly an interesting second race of the day, starting out with some cloudy weather, and then all of a sudden, before we know it, tiger pants or not, the rain suddenly came down. The fans stayed put though, hats off to them. They are always resilient here at Most. And the racing got underway. The spray and the rain was incredible in the first few moments, but it quickly let up, and then we were able to get racing under green flag conditions. We were under yellow flags for the first lap, and then straight off the bat, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez unleashed his pace, and he disappeared over the horizon, while Clemens Hecker seemed to struggle. There was a bit of contact in the middle of the pack, Norbert Kisch and Jochen Hahn twice having contact in just a couple of corners, and then a little bit here and there with the guys all trying to overtake each other. It was great action though, as all of the Titan drivers tried to fight for positions, and even in the Chrome class as well, there was some argy-bargy. René Reinert was actually battling for second place at one point, but unfortunately, after a couple of moments, would end up dropping right down the order. As you can see there, he ended up just off the grass, and then even later on in the race was having big slides too. Luke Garrett got past Clemens Hecker in the end, so too did Bradley Smith, but an important part of the race was the fact that Jose Eduardo Rodriguez made that mistake that really opened him up to attack later on. Jochen Hahn getting past Steffi Halm. We would also see battles with Sasha Lenz, as well as Antonio Albacete trying to get past Steffi. She wasn't quite able to defend, while we also had Stefan Faas out of the race once again. Pivotal contact there between Norbert Kisch and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. Jochen Hahn tried to get through in the final moments, with Christian Ruppert being polite and staying out of the way, but Jose Eduardo Rodriguez takes his second win of the season, and John Newell takes an all-important win in the Chrome class to propel himself up into second in the drivers' standings. We have 3 drivers now separated by just 13 points from John back to Mark Taylor and Clemens Hecker, while also ahead of them, Bradley Smith has a 13-point advantage in the championship. We now wait for the podium, and all of a sudden it's sunny again. This is exactly what we mean about the weather here in Most. Before you know it, it's gone sunshine, rain, sunshine in just a few hours. will be getting the overall podium done first. And they will go in reverse order, third, second, first. And as you can hear, third place, Jochen Hahn. He makes his way up to the podium now. He wasn't on the podium earlier, was he, actually? So he didn't know where to go. He'll be spraying the champagne at somebody in just a moment, I'm sure. Norbert Kish has a lot of fans here in Czechia, as you can hear. He's got a lot of fans everywhere. Well, a lot of fans here in Czechia. They make the drive over from Hungary. And your race winner for the second time this season, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. The young man certainly making more and more waves all of the time in truck racing. And a fantastic result for him this time round. Now we have the trophies being handed out here by Petr Abrahamek, the head of sales from the Czech Republic, or the Czech Republic branch of Goodyear, I should say. Not just sales of Czech Republic in general. Norbert Kish gets his second trophy of the day. And Jose Eduardo Rodriguez gets an all-important race winners trophy here from Most. And now we should get the Portuguese national anthem, or about 10 seconds of it, for Jose Eduardo. I thought that was the shortest one we've ever had then. I think they've called it there. I don't think they're going to do any more national anthem. I said 10 seconds, and even that was an overstatement. Wow. Maybe the rain has affected the speakers. Still, there you go, your top three from the second race of the day. I believe I just saw Torsten Kelterborn for a moment, did I not?
I'm changing the cams for another photo shoot session.
In the very subtle bright orange shirt on the left-hand side there. He's attending the race meeting with his lovely wife. It was good to see them at the Nürburgring a few weeks ago. And now they spray one another with champagne. And the media, of course, as well. Jose Eduardo getting his second soaking of the day after it raining on him. Deservedly so as well. A great race victory for him. Very well done indeed. Let's have a look at the championship standings then, shall we? Before we move on to the chrome podium. Norbert Kish now on 240 points. 60 points clear. That is an important milestone, that, because 60 points is the maximum you can get from an entire race meeting. You get 20 for the first race, then 10 for the second race, and then the same again on the second day. Norby now an entire race meeting clear. Jochen Hahn is almost the same ahead of Steffi Halm then, with René Reiner in third place, just 2 points clear of Sasha Lenz now. Antonio Albacete is now back to being 12 points behind Sasha, with Jose Eduardo Rodriguez moving up to 88 points. Mark Taylor is 1 point ahead of Bradley Smith, 3 points ahead of Lucas Hahn now. We then have Clemens Hecker tied on points with Lucas, 28 each. Stefan Faas in 12th, ahead of John Newell, with Louis Requenco and Jonathan Andre ahead of Luke Garrett, who now moves up to 4 points. Luke there doubling his tally, actually, in that one by finishing in 9th place overall. He got 2 points after having 2 for a good chunk of the season. He ends up now ending up with more points. The last time he finished 9th was actually at Misano in race 3 as well. Just before that DNF, the big incident with Antonio Albacete. So he went from a very high to a very low. The next podium will be set up just now, and that's going to be for our chrome drivers. I believe there's only going to be one of these guys that is a repeat visitor to the podium, and that is going to be John Newell. But Bradley Smith, the first of 3 British drivers to head up to the podium for this one. Bradley needed that. That's opened up his championship lead to 13 points over John Newell. John moving up into second position. Luke Garrett takes his second podium of the season in class. He'll be over the moon with this one. I wonder if there'll be any rivalry between him and his son, with Alfie away at Wilton Mill this weekend karting. I'm sure Alfie will be bringing back some silverware. Luke's going to be doing the same. But what about John Newell? He's had a great run of podiums recently. He's had 6 of them in the last 8 races. And then this 7th one is his first class win of the season. And he'll be over the moon with this. He seems quite tame and chill at the moment, does John, but he knows there's still a big job to do. But these results recently have propelled him right into the championship fight in the Chrome class. Luke Garrett, very happy with that trophy. The team have worked so hard to get to this point. They have a lot of reliability problems, but they've sorted it out. And John Newell, after having a difficult start to the season, the truck is now set up well and it is flying. Now we'll get the British national anthem. I don't know if you all heard that from Bradley Smith just beforehand, but he said, let's hope this one works. And it did, for about 15 seconds. Still, an all-British podium. And interestingly as well, the championship heading out on track in the background is a British Historics GT Championship, actually. I wondered why there were so many British marks out there, but yeah, a very British moment here at Czechia. My colleague and good friend Alice Holloway running out of the way there to get clear of the media pen before the champagne. And there they go. Spraying the champagne on all the media, not on one another. The guys want to save a bit of that for a drink this evening to celebrate their achievements today. Let's have a look at the standings then in the Chrome class before we head over to an interview. Bradley Smith now 162 points, but look at that. John Newell now moves up into 2nd place with Mark Taylor in 3rd. He's now only 6 points clear of Clemens Hecker as well. It is so tight at the top of the Chrome class. We then have Louis Requenco. He's not too far behind either, with Luke Garrett in 6th place ahead of the likes of Stefan Faas and Lucas Hahn. Christian Ruppert is in 9th, 9 points clear of Jonathan Andre in 10th position. Then I believe we have the likes of Stefan Kirsch and Martin Maciek next up. Martin now gaining 11 points. Wasn't much to shout about in that second race there from Martin, but he's just going to be coming to grips with the truck as time goes on. Let's head down for an interview and let's hear from Lena.
Luke Garrett, what a reward after last year, and this year really steadily got better and better. How are you feeling?
Obviously really pleased. We've had a hard year already. Last year was obviously even worse, but we're slowly getting there with the truck. Most, I think, suits the truck quite well, and I think Le Mans will, so we're looking forward to that as well. But yeah, I'm well happy for the team. I'm well happy for all the sponsors. It's obviously brilliant.
You're like a family team, so others, they have people to speak to. Maybe they get an estimate about suspension setups, whatever. Do you have people to speak to, or do you more than less do everything yourself and their own learning as well?
I think it's all learning. Obviously, we do get some sort of information off other people, but every driver's different, so all the settings will be different. But we're building steps. Obviously, the truck's the 2nd year with the truck, so hopefully by the end of the year and beginning of next year, we can really go get some more podiums and obviously hopefully fight in the Chrome Cup, the class properly. So
actually it really makes a good race car driver to never give up, always see the finish line, and that's what you're doing. Maybe Fortune Tire also has given you some fortune, hopefully.
Yeah, like I said, obviously a lot of teamwork. They worked late last night. We had a problem yesterday in qualifying, so it's a brilliant reward for everybody. I'm just very happy that it's happened. So yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow.
So you grab your trophy, grab the champagne and whatever it needs to come back to your family and to your team. So I see you tomorrow for the qualifying of Sunday in 9:05, I think it was. I just had it in my ear. 9:25 it is. So see you tomorrow and have a very lovely evening. And you go celebrate. Don't work too much.